Every rock legend expects to take their final bow on their own terms. Stadium farewells, standing ovations, a hero's exit. But for some, the final performance became something far darker. These are 10 rock artists whose last moments on stage still haunt us today. Number 10, Dimebag Darrell.
Niggemeyer shot and killed Nathan Gale while he stood on this stage. By the time Niggemeyer arrived, 4 others
On Wednesday, December 8, 2004, Damageplan were headlining a concert at the Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. During the opening song, 25-year-old Nathan Gale rushed the stage and fired his gun several times, killing Abbott. Darrell Lance Abbott, founding guitarist of groove metal band Pantera, was shot to death within minutes of taking the stage.
The shooting at the hands of Nathan Gale would have continued if not for the actions of Columbus.
The other fatalities were Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson, Damageplan's head of security who tackled Gale, Aaron Hulk, an Alrosa employee who tried to restrain Gale, and Damageplan fan Nathan Bray. The Abbott brothers had founded Pantera in Arlington, Texas in 1981. Dimebag Darrell's innovative style on albums like Vulgar Display of Power influenced generations of metal guitarists from Zakk Wylde to the members of Lamb of God.
Video taken from the band's concert camera that captured the moments prior to the shooting.
Number 9, Randy Rhodes.
Was also a pilot who convinced Randy and the group's makeup artist Rachel Youngblood to take a quick flight on a small Beechcraft.
Guitarist Randy Rhodes played his final show with Ozzy Osbourne on March 18, 1982, at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum in Knoxville, Tennessee. 24 hours later, he was dead at the age of 25. Rhodes helped revive Osbourne's floundering career following his dismissal from Black Sabbath, and their collaboration produced 2 classic albums, Blizzard of Oz in 1980 and Diary of a Madman in 1981. Rhodes died in a plane crash in Leesburg, Florida, following a joyride in a Beechcraft Bonanza piloted by Osbourne's bus driver, Andrew Aycock.
Came through the tree, the plane came into the top part of the garage here.
Also killed in the crash was Rachel Youngblood, a member of the touring crew who handled wardrobe and hair. Investigations revealed that Aycock's medical aviation certificate had expired, and toxicology reports found traces of cocaine in his system. Rhodes was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021. His neoclassical style influenced guitarists like Yngwie Malmsteen and Zakk Wylde for decades. Number 8, Cliff Burton.
I heard a vibration and then this motion. I thought we were going off a cliff.
Burton's final performance was in Stockholm, Sweden at the Solnahallen Arena on September 26, 1986, the night before his death. Multiple sources indicate the final song performed with Burton was Fight Fire with Fire. The Rising Star Thrashers had recently released the groundbreaking Master of Puppets. Band members drew lots to decide sleeping arrangements on the tour bus, and Burton won his bunk selection.
On that European tour, we had a really bad bus.
At around 7 a.m., the bus skidded off the road, and Burton was thrown through the bus window onto the road, where the bus then fell on him. The 24-year-old bass player died at the crash site during Metallica's Damage Inc. tour. His revolutionary bass style, showcased on tracks like For Whom the Bell Tolls, changed what the instrument could do in metal.
Normal windows like a passenger coach, and the bunks are just bolted in. Then they put cardboard over the windows.
Number 7, Bon Scott.
Hey, we're on TV now, so I want you all to smile, all right?
On January 27, 1980, the final show of the Highway to Hell tour took place at the Gaumont Theatre in East Southampton, UK. This would also prove to be Scott's last concert. AC/DC had been a band on the rise throughout 1979. Highway to Hell, their 6th studio album, put them on the map, especially in America. The accompanying tour also proved to be a huge success. The singer's appetite for intoxication was well known among his bandmates, but the details of his final night were tragically mundane.
Scotland Yard spokesman said specifically that there were no suspicious circumstances surrounding Bon Scott's death.
He went out drinking with some friends and overindulged. After being left in his car with the driver's seat reclined so he could sleep it off, he died of acute alcohol poisoning. On February 19th, Scott was found dead at the age of 33. Released in the summer of 1980, Back in Black went on to make AC/DC international superstars and remains one of the biggest-selling albums of all time. Number 6, Phil Anselmo.
This is a song of unity. This is one called
In 1996, following a successful Pantera show in Dallas, Texas, the band's frontman injected a lethal dose of heroin backstage. He was clinically dead for several minutes before paramedics revived him. The concert had gone well. What happened immediately after nearly ended everything. Anselmo later spoke openly about the incident, describing the minutes his heart stopped beating. The vocalist had been battling chronic back pain for years, leading to a dangerous dependence on opiates. His near-death experience became a turning point, though addiction would continue to haunt him. Pantera's Far Beyond Driven had debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 in 1994, making them one of metal's biggest acts. Anselmo survived to perform with bands including Down and Superjoint Ritual, carrying the weight of that Dallas night with him. Before we continue, which of these stories hit you the hardest so far? Did you ever see any of these artists perform live before tragedy struck? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 5, Nikki Sixx.
Nikki Sixx was also an addict. Hooked on heroin and cocaine, he was out of control.
December 23, 1987. The Motley Crue bassist collapsed after injecting heroin following a night of partying during the Girls, Girls, Girls tour. He turned blue. His heart stopped completely. Paramedics pronounced him dead, then administered 2 shots of adrenaline directly into his chest. Sixx jolted back to life. He was only 29 years old.
Certain drugs are necessary, but, you know, street drugs, that kind of stuff. I mean, even...
The experience shook him enough that he documented it in his memoir, The Heroin Diaries. It also inspired one of the band's biggest hits, Kickstart My Heart, released in 1989. Sixx's near-death night became part of rock mythology, a cautionary tale told alongside Keith Richards and Steven Tyler's survival stories. The bassist has since become a passionate advocate for addiction recovery, transforming his darkest moment into purpose.
This is the first time that it's like really potent, it's really important to me, and giving back is what's going to help me.
Number 4, James Hetfield.
Pyro guy doesn't see me that I've walked back out there, a big colored flame goes right up under me.
August 8, 1992. Montreal's Olympic Stadium. Metallica was co-headlining with Guns N' Roses on one of the decade's biggest stadium tours. During Fade to Black, a pyrotechnic explosion detonated directly beneath Hetfield due to a miscommunication with the stage crew. The frontman was engulfed in flames. He suffered. 2nd and 3rd degree burns across his left arm, hand, and face. The concert stopped immediately. Metallica could not continue. When Guns N' Roses finally took the stage roughly 2 hours later, Axl Rose complained about monitor issues and walked off after approximately 9 songs. The crowd of 53,000 rioted in the streets outside. Hetfield recovered and returned to touring just 17 days later, his determination unbroken. The incident remains one of the most infamous concert disasters in rock history.
We have these flashes of magnesium that burns at 1,200 degrees, 1,800 degrees.
Number 3, Vinnie Paul.
Taken from the band's concert camera that captured the moments prior to the shooting.
As police officers and detectives flooded the Alrosa Villa on December 8th, Vinnie Abbott escaped into the damage-plan tour bus. He climbed into Dimebag's bunk and wept. Just 90 seconds earlier, the Pantera drummer had been warming up beside his brother on stage. Van Halen were Dimebag's last words before a mentally disturbed man named Nathan Gale opened fire.
The shooting at the hands of Nathan Gale would have continued if not for the actions of Columbus.
The message Van Halen was an important one between the brothers, a ritual they had shared before. Every show through their time together in Pantera and before that, Vinnie Paul immediately stopped playing and stood up when the gunfire began. They had built Damageplan together after Pantera's bitter breakup. Now, one was gone forever. Vinnie continued making music with Hell Yeah until his own death in 2018 at age 54. The trauma of that December night never left
Officer
him.
Niggemeyer shot and killed Nathan Gale while he stood on this stage. By the time Niggemeyer arrived, 4 others.
Number 2, Slash. The Use Your Illusion tour was the biggest rock spectacle of the early 1990s. Guns N' Roses was selling out stadiums worldwide, and their lead guitarist was at the peak of his powers. But behind the top hat and cigarette, Slash was losing a battle with heroin and cocaine. In 1992, the same year as the Montreal disaster, the guitarist overdosed on a speedball at a hotel in San Francisco. He collapsed in the hotel hallway, turning blue. Paramedics arrived to find the guitarist clinically dead and revived him with emergency measures. Slash later described the experience as a huge shock of energy and lights rushing back into his body. The guitarist survived to become one of rock's most iconic figures, but that night in San Francisco nearly ended one of the greatest careers in hard rock history. Number 1. The Abbott Brothers.
Said no to anything. You know, he was all about entertaining people. The thing that got him off the most was putting a smile.
Dimebag listened to Eddie Van Halen before every show. The Abbott brothers grew up in Texas idolizing Van Halen. The message Van Halen was an important one between Dimebag and his brother Vinnie Paul. A high five, and those two words became their ritual before every performance.
Eddie Van Halen up there talking at the funeral service. He puts his guitar in the casket with Daryl. It's the guitar off of Van Halen 2.
On the day of the funeral, December 14th, Eddie Van Halen arrived with an instrument, but it wasn't a new one. It was the original yellow and black striped guitar featured on the back of Van Halen 2, dating from 1979. He told the family, an original should have an original.
When you die, Van Halen's gonna put that guitar in the casket with you. Terry would have said, kill me now.
Dimebag's girlfriend Rita Haney placed the guitar in his casket. In death, Dimebag finally held the instrument that had inspired everything he ever played.